All right, I started early. I wonder if the audio is working. Looks like it's working. I think it's working. Hello, hello, hello. What do we got here? All right, so I think the chat thing is set for subscribers. You got to be subscribed to be able to comment in the thingy booby on the right. And then I think that'd probably keep the riffraff out, maybe, right? Anyway, here we are. Let's load it up. I don't know how many of us are hanging out together today. What's this? The third or fourth time we've done this, I think. We hung out on Christmas Day, which I like. Nobody's alone, right? Nobody's alone. Now, where am I? This thing working? Where are all you crazy people? You guys here? Here we are. Piling in, Australia. Hold on, wait, can I go to the top? Arizona? Yeah, throw down where you're from, all right, you guys? Washington State. Where are we? Come on, tell me where you are. Wisconsin. Merry Christmas. Michigan. Scrolling down. Australia. G'day, mate. Merry Christmas, Toronto, Minnesota, Florida, Utah. Uh-oh, I hear Chippy down there, I think. Tennessee. I love Tennessee. UK. All right. Man, we're around the world just like that. How crazy is that? I think Chippy's coming. Who goes there? Woke up for that little rugrat jumping on my ribs. There we go. Who's there? What are you doing? What are you coming on YouTube again? How many times are you going to be on here? Huh? Come here. We got to say hi. We got to sit on my lap for 1 second. You're too short. Oh, all right. Look at this. Look at that thing right there. See that dot right there? All right. So where are you? Whose house are you at? Speak. Tell everybody what you did to me this morning. You broke all my ribs. Remember jumping on me in bed and you woke me up? What? Like I'm some kind of punching bag? Okay, now listen. All I want to know is, did Santa come here last night? No. Santa didn't come here last night? Are you sure? Oh, the elves came here, but Santa went to your house? Really? You been a good boy? Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah. You've been a good boy? That's hard to believe. Huh? No, don't be breaking my glasses. You thought you were a good boy. All right, so what are you going to do this year? Are you going to go hunting this year? What? For what? What? You going to go fishing? Are you going to go fishing? They're funny. You hit record, and they pretend they're like a deaf mute person. But meanwhile, he doesn't be quiet, and he knows English clearly. He knows how to speak fluent English. He's not just a little baby chimp, right? Okay, what was your favorite little thing that the elves gave you today? That's what I thought. The Nerf gun? Yeah, so get this, you guys. So there's like 16 people in this small farmhouse, and somebody decided to give all the children a little handgun Nerf gun with a whole bunch of ammo each. Chaos.
And I pull it back in after I push a button and I shoot.
And who did you shoot? Everyone. No, right?
No.
Yeah, you shot your mom in the head. Then, what breed is the farm dog?
Border collie.
A border collie. You know those hyper border collies? So there's a border collie in the house, and it's got a little orange rubber ball, and it's freaking out trying to get it thrown. So one of the children decides they need to throw the ball. So he throws the ball, bounces off the nose of the dog, bounces off Sarah's dad's forehead, bounces off the rim of a coffee cup and across again. Right? So imagine what it was like this morning. So you got these little munchkins shooting everybody, the dog bouncing balls everywhere, and everybody screaming and spilling shit. Oops, did I say a word? Anyway, there you go. You gonna say hi to everybody? At least say hello. Quite a few people know who you are.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, now where are you? Can you tell them where you are? Where are you? New Brunswick?
Yeah.
What's the name of the farm? Besides Funny Farm. What? Roga Farm. Sick the hat, Roga Farm. Right? You know what, you little turd?
What were you going to say to everybody?
You gonna say something to everybody?
Merry Christmas.
Oh, he said Merry Christmas. All right.
Can you say bye? Go say bye.
Bye-bye.
We got to say goodbye to that green dot right there. Come here.
Bye-bye, Chico.
Do it again. Say it again. Say bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, hopefully you grow up to be a cute kid one day.
Okay, Chico.
Okay, Chica.
What?
Okay, Chica.
Oh, hey, Mom. How come you're not going to come in front of the camera? Then she goes into death silence. All right. Later. Okay, this thing's still working. I hope you guys heard that. Or we just look like a bunch of dorks not making a sound. Where are we? Ontario, Texas, East Texas, Las Vegas, Nevada. Hold on. I got to scroll back up here. Scrolling back up. I wonder how many people are here. Is there a bunch? Nevada, Southwest Washington, Montana, Missouri, Central Indiana, Florida. Holy cow. Hamlin, Texas, Kentucky. The whole freaking world is here. New Mexico. Crazy. Alaska. Right on. California, Boston. Yeah, Chippy. That poor kid, right? Imagine having to look like that during your childhood. Poor little kid. Anyway, where am I? So, right now we are in, the ocean's that. I'm looking at the ocean. It's so weird for me. There's moose running around here, and it's so weird for me to know that moose are running around near the ocean because I usually have to go inland the Rocky Mountains to find moose up north. So, anyway, the bridge that goes to Prince Edward Island is right there, apparently 15 minutes away. That's where we are. It's snowing. It's kind of cold. And the farmhouse we're at, this room I'm in right now, this is crazy. So Sarah's grandparents, not great-grandparents, grandparents came here from Denmark years ago. And this house, I could never guess how old this house is I'm in right now. And this was the original farmhouse. And then they built another small farmhouse right there. And Sarah and all her brothers grew up in this little tiny farmhouse. I think it looks like it was built in the 50s, I think. And all the rooms are tiny. You can see they had weird cupboards built into the walls. See that at the top of the door? And weird little drawers coming out of the walls and stuff. I don't know how old this house is. So one of her brothers lives in this house now. But the last time we were here, apparently there's some weird person living in here, and they had a ghost. Whatever. Why ghosts decide to connect themselves to buildings is very bizarre, and I hope I don't become one day because I don't want to be stuck in an old house or an attic or a basement, right? How creepy is that? But anyway, look at all the people. I'm glad there's so many people here, right? Because it's like I've said, it's no secret. I mean, I was by myself for many years. Christmas was just like make it go away, make it go. I wanted to hide in a closet and just hide for like a week straight and reemerge when it was all done and said with, right? So, and I know I'm not the only one. I know there's a shit pile of people out there that live the same life as I lived for the majority of my life until Sarah and I got together. But even now, like, it's kind of odd, and I'm sure there might be a bunch of people here that can relate to this. It's not even that it's comfortable, but it's not comfortable in a way when you are included in another family for Christmas and they're all like stoked and jacked and having Christmas, and you're still kind of like, oh yeah, this is great. Do you know what I mean? Because if you let your brain go there, then you can almost go a little negative again because you realize that you don't have any family. Do you know what I mean? But it's good. So I guess that's probably why I make sure I come here so that we can all be together, because I know that there is thousands of people out there in the world on this channel, possibly sit in the same position I sat for a long time. So here we are. Nobody's alone, right? Nobody's alone. Anyway, what should we talk about? I got a handful of, we could do a few things here. You guys can either rifle any question you want at me and I'll try to read them and answer what I can, or I can also, I went into the inbox this morning and I think there's a couple people who went, finally, I'm finally doing it. I'm finally sharing. So I could read a couple of those too, because you imagine how long it takes people to finally crack that seal open and go, okay, today's the day I'm finally going to admit what I know, what I've seen, right? And that's another reason why I'm here. But anyway, what do we got? Who do we got? Everybody's still saying hello. They're just piling in. Which story stands out to you the most, Steve? Who? Man, I don't know. Well, the one that stands out the most to me firsthand is and always be my grandfather's, because that was the moment. Do you know what I mean? Like, I saw whatever it was I saw staring at me eye to eye 15 yards away, and you're by yourself, and it's 1980, probably 1984 or 1985. And who do you talk to? What do you even, I mean, I didn't have anybody to talk to at the time anyway, no matter what, but what do you do with that? And then, so finally, when I was 26 years old, so what would that have been? 21, 18, 19, 21, I don't know, 8 years later. And then my grandfather tells me and looks me square in the eye, and he's not a funny guy, and tells me exactly what he saw in broad daylight. And then that finally made me go, I knew it. I freaking knew it. No way. Right. So I think that for me that is definitely the number one firsthand story that stands out to me the most, is my grandfather, because that was a huge impact on my life. Everything didn't quite turn upside down when I first saw that, whatever you want to call it, staring at me from the top of that rock, and he screwed up and didn't have his silhouette broken up from the trees. He missed it by about 2 feet. So my world wasn't completely turned upside down then. I hadn't put it all together, but when my grandfather came forward, and then I'm like, then I started questioning every single thing. Everything. And I came to my own conclusions. I learned a lot on my own. And then after, being well aware of the mainstream faces when it comes to this topic, intentionally keeping all of you going in circles. And I knew that for a long time before I finally came out and said, all right, enough of the bullshit, man. Screw these guys. And it was a babbling. But as far as emails that have come in, no, I'll go. I'm gonna share with you guys one more that had a big impact on my mind. Was when I went and met Dr. John Bendernagel at University of Victoria at his presentation, and that nothing really new came to me from that. But when we were both standing there, and that quiet guy come out of the back behind the people in the circle afterwards, we're all standing talking, newspapers there. And when he took John and I aside and told us what he saw and what happened, because I mean, we're talking, that's a long time ago. It's over 20 years ago, when I already come to the conclusion that this isn't no animal. There's no way. And they outclass us way more than I thought. And I came to that conclusion back then. And I think this story is pivotal for me because it confirmed that for me, because I could not figure out how they know we're coming. And I was trying to figure out, okay, how did my grandfather get up on that thing? How did he sneak up on it? And and the only thing I was coming up with at the time was ground, the level of ground, the root overhang, the bank, and then the river down here. It was squatting down here. My grandpa came up on it. So I was thinking, all right, there's got to be something to do with dirt that's potentially blocking this thing's sixth sense or whatever it's sensing. Because I knew something strange was going on over 20 years ago. And when that man told me he was hunting with a partner, and he told me that he looked down the draw, he's in the timber, and this black thing was kind of going back and forth, zigzagging around tree to tree. And then all of a sudden, all he said was, and all of a sudden it's in front of me. I'm like, what? We're like, what? What do you mean it's in front of you? It's just right there in front of me. How far away? 20 yards. I'm like, what? No way. And he goes, yeah. What'd you do? And he says, I threw my gun up. I had the scope right on his forehead. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, I had a 30-06 with the crosshairs on his forehead. And he goes, and I vividly remember going from eyeball to forehead to eyeball down to his mouth and back onto his forehead with the crosshairs. And I'm like, holy shit. You saw the veins in his eyeballs. He goes, I saw the wrinkles on his skin. But the most impactful moment of that one that has stayed with me for really stood out was the fact that all of a sudden it jumped behind the tree and really hid. And then his buddy came bouncing up and he's like, what are you doing? He goes, check that out. And this is the moment for me was when it put together some strange items. It confirmed to me some real strange shit's going on. They have skills or powers that we don't. Was when he said that when he brought up his gun, it stuck its head right out. When he put his gun down and his buddy brought a scope up to look, it really hid. And he said it was almost like they were controlling it. Head out, really hide. Not really hide, really hide, with two guns going up and down. And that told me instantly that thing knows your demeanor. That thing knows how you're built between your ears. These people know what's going on between your ears. And that's over 20 years ago, right? And then I remember saying, right away, I asked him, I go, what's your buddy like? Is he a killer? Does he like do a lot of, does he just shoot? Does he not really think, And he goes, oh yeah, he's a killer. And I'm like, I get it. Okay, I get it. And that's when it started for my own ride, which started a long time before I admitted on here to you guys. And that was what confirmed for me at that time that, all right, confirmed. These people outclass the living shit out of us. And something strange is going on that somebody doesn't want us to know about. And I just continued on my own little private ride. And then I started looking into it when I quit guiding for a season. I'm like, all right, I quit guiding. Now I got time. I'm going to go look. Because by coincidence, I was now living in the heart of possibly one of the most active areas in British Columbia. And then I soon realized that it was more common for me to find someone in my community that has had an experience than it was somebody who's seen a cougar. And there's cougars everywhere in the forest around there in the mountains. Anyways, and then fast forward, then I started looking intentionally, narrowing down where I figured, bullseyed it, and I basically had them say, F you. And that's when I went, note taken, I'm good, I won't do this again. Let's just hang out side by side, enjoy this lifetime and not get in each other's face. And I've maintained that all the way through. And then I came on here and talked to you guys. And then that was when I more realized that so many people's lives have been changed and had a negative impact because of the reaction they've had when they come across this truth and nowhere to go, can't deal with it. They're laughed at from where they're supposed to be safe. Their friends, their family laugh at them. Supposed to be the safest place in the world for you to share shit. And that gets stuffed down your throat. On top of that, that is so cruel and disgusting in my eyes at the stage of the game. So, and then I realized as well, and I was thinking about my grandfather climbing in a sheet metal tube full of bombs, flying over Germany in his mind, thinking he's doing the right thing to save everybody at home. And that man died scared of ridicule of the same people he is willing to do that. And that's when I pulled the trigger online and I said, F you world, there isn't a human being big enough to laugh me into changing my story. I've seen it. You don't like it? Too effing bad. And then here we are. So there you go. There's the most, how's that for a long babble answer? But yeah, the most impactful story, definitely number one was my grandfather. And another most impactful firsthand story was from the guy who confirmed to me that there's something very, what we are raised to believe is labeled as supernatural, when meanwhile it's probably just natural. And now emailed in, I think John Blatt. I've always gone back to one of John Blatt's emails, and I actually replayed that video numerous times over the years when I'm sitting on that mountain with Mount Curry behind me on the other side of the valley. And he was the one who found the turtle, and I believe this being picked him up. And he shared a very impactful email of his whole journey of going to the conventions, going with squatchers and doing the whole 9 yards and exposing the truth about what really goes on with these so-called groups and names. And he put it into words better than I could. And I always have felt that that was a very important email for the world to hear. And I've shared that on here I replayed that one on here numerous times. So I guess that's another one. That's one of the most important ones I've come across that I felt every single human being needs to hear. So have I had any impactful emails from all of you that has made me apprehensive about going out or changed how I do anything? I don't think so. I don't think so. My most impactful moments of my life have been with me personally, my grandfather, that man, me personally. Messages from John Blatt to the world was very impactful on me, but I don't believe there's any emails from all you that stands out that makes me go, whoa, or really, yeah, I don't think, I haven't had any serious reactions in changing of my habits due to emails coming in, because I've learned so much before I started doing this, right? And I learned how to navigate in the mountains and the forests before I came on here with you guys. I quickly came to the conclusion that trail cameras aren't good enough. Excuse me, that we aren't good enough. We aren't smart enough to pull the wool over their eyes. We just aren't. And the human ego's got a tough time accepting that fact, but it is a fact. We just can't do it. Well, us simple humans, we can't do it. Right? Well, that was if I'm going to answer questions, all of them, we're going to be here for 6 weeks with the length of these answers, right? All right. Anybody want to ask me anything else? What's your favorite Christmas gift? Oh, we're not really, you know what? There's so many, this family's so big. Everybody does like a Secret Santa thing where the entire family has to put their name in a hat and you draw somebody's name. And then you can go $100 maximum for any gift. And then you just got to buy one person a gift and that's it. That's all she wrote. So, but actually, you know, my favorite gift today, I guess Chippy had bought himself this little game in between airports on the way here. And I guess Sarah and the girls were upstairs wrapping all the presents and shit yesterday. And Chippy's like, I want to give this to Uncle Steve. I want to give this to Uncle Steve. And he had to wrap it himself and he had to sign it himself. I put a picture of that on the post page. So, I mean, how can that not be the most favorite moment of the entire Christmas, right? That little shit. That poor little boy who looks so goofy. Yeah, it's pretty good. You can't top that, right? How do you top that one? What's your favorite meat? One choice, mountain sheep. Without a doubt, instant, fast answer. No question about it. Thin-horn mountain sheep. That stuff is so good that, you know, when people come over and visit, friends, family, whatever, nobody leaves without some elk steaks or moose roast or some halibut or salmon, right? When I got mountain sheep in the freezer and somebody comes over and says, hey, I hear you want a mountain sheep hunt, huh? Yeah. You got one? Mm-hmm. Here, that meat's pretty good. It's delicious. Wouldn't mind trying a bite. I'll bet you would. Right? I don't share it. I don't share it. You got to pack that shit on your back forever. You travel 2 days driving, sometimes 2-3 days hiking or riding your horse, and then you're lucky enough to get one. And I pick that carcass clean and I take that meat home, and if somebody wants to try some of that sheep meat, too bad, go get one. I don't share it. That's how good it is. That's how good it is. Oh my God, how did you meet Sarah? That's a long story. It's a long story. It's a good one, but it's a funny long one. I don't know how I could make that into a short version. All right, I'll try to do it quick. How did it happen? How did this go down? I decided I was going to go around the world by myself. Why? I like adventure and I like to scare the shit out of myself, and I don't like to be scared of anything. Anything. If I find myself nervous or scared of something, I get angry at myself and I go at it like a dog. Fright is the only thing that destroys our lives, being scared. It destroys people's choices to maybe go on an adventure, to try to make a better choice for your family, for more income, a business venture, anything. Fright, being scared, ruins everything. Yes, it keeps us alive too, but fright sucks. I come from a family of scared individuals who annihilated their lives from being scared. Whatever they had mental issues going on, it ruined them. And I always swore I would not be that person. So anyways, I'll try to make this quick. I'm babbling. I'm going to go around the world. Make a long story short, I just wanted to go I wanted to leave to the west, chase the sun, and come up from the east once in my lifetime without a road map and just go and get freaked out. And I made it halfway around the world. I get bit by that mosquito. Next thing you know, I'm in a small hospital room dying. The doctor told me I'll probably be dead tomorrow. And then I lived. I make a long story short, I went back home. I gave up my place in Whistler at the time. Ski season, I'm back in the wintertime. I got lucky and I found a furnished condo in Squamish across from Canadian Tire. And I could barely move. I went from 215 pounds, shredded, ripped in shape, fighting shape, down to like 170 pounds or something. I could barely move, laying on this bed, I just wanted to tie a rope onto the railing of that balcony, put it around my neck and jump off the railing. And then I could walk a little ways. There's a gym, 24-hour gym across the street on the strip mall. I started going to that gym. And I would walk on the treadmill for about 5 minutes and want to fall over. That's how bad it was. And then what happened? I went to another coffee shop and a little strip mall behind Canadian Tire. I'm sitting there having coffee. So my morning routine would just be get up, walk across, go have coffee, have a snack, go to the gym. And I'm learning. I was trying to develop my hunting apps, the app platform that I custom built, and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't know anything. I cashed in my retirement money to fund it. I shunned away all partners. I was scared to death, but I knew I was doing something good, but hadn't figured it out yet. My horses aren't with me. They're at friends' place, and my horses are my family. I'm talking, we're at a low point. And then my friend's son walked by and I go, what are you doing? He goes, what are you doing? I'm sitting here having coffee. He goes, oh, well, my wife's in there getting her hair done. So I went in to go say hi to her, and I'm not kidding you. I open up the door. Here's this blonde chick standing there doing her hair with her little curly hair and her glasses and her little red lipstick. And I glanced at her. She glanced over, and I felt this it was almost like this little weird electric hits you. And I'm like, oh, shit. No, nope. Right? Nope. Not right now. I didn't even say hello to her. I turned around and walked out. I'm not kidding you. And then I'm like, oh boy, don't go anywhere near there. Don't go anywhere near there. You're a mess right now. You don't know which way is up. You got to get your shit together. You're almost falling apart. You nearly died. Your horses aren't together. You've gone all in on this idea. Yeah, it's a long story. But anyway, and for 2 years, because my friend's wife was friends with her, and I'd always tease her, like, hey, where's your hairdresser? She goes, just go ask her out. And I'm like, no, I'm not asking her out. Just go ask her out. She's single. Nope. Well, as soon as you lose, I go, no, I'm not going to lose. It'll happen one day. I already know. And I already knew. Just like that, I knew. Didn't even talk to her. And then I think it was a year later, and I'm still working hard at making my life go this way. I'm working hard at making everything come together. I'm learning nonstop. I'm working nonstop every single day. I just want to get my goal smashed, get my horses and me in one place, and go for the stars. And then, and I'm figuring it out. I'm finally figuring it out. And then she goes, well, you're too late. She's got a boyfriend. One time, because I always tease her when I see them, right? And I go, it doesn't matter. It's not going to work out. I'm not kidding. A year later, she says, oh, she's got a boyfriend. It ain't going to last. She's like, whatever, I got to trust me. It ain't going to last. Because, no, you're too late. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And then 2 years later, then they were getting, they weren't married yet. And they were going to get married. And they asked me if I knew a place in Pemberton, a nice place where somebody could have a wedding outside. I'm like, yeah, right where I am. And guess who's in the wedding party? Sarah. So, and I knew, I'm like, oh, here we go. This is it. This is the end. Right? Kidding. And then the wedding went down and Sarah came over to me, and then that was it. That's it. Done deal. So I can always say, you came after me. She goes, I didn't. I go, no, you came after me. So that's how it went down. And now now I call her my little bear cub, because everywhere I go, she's trailing like a bear cub. She's my bear cub. And you guys know the rest, right? So there you go. That's how it happened. And it's funny too, for all you who may be single on here, maybe you've gone through it, and all the years and all the people I met over the years guiding, because I made sure I stayed single during the age when everybody's getting married, you know, I got to settle down and have kids. I'm like, are you kidding me? I made sure I stayed single. I would guide for sport fishing on the coast. I would go up north in northern Rocky Mountains to the hunting lodge, drag my horses up. We'd catch horses in July, 100 of them, round them up, shoe them, go into the mountains, and being there for 120 days straight, meeting people from all over the world. Many people you know of through the TV screen, many. And I don't see anybody as, I see everybody as equal. I don't give a flying shit who you are, trust me. And when these billionaires, these celebrities have me treating them like some asshole friend I went to school with, they haven't been treated like that in years. So I ended up getting invites all over the planet. So I would keep my stuff, back then I kept my stuff in storage. I'd go in the ocean, travel up north. I'd be in camp for 120 days, getting a stack of American hundreds for tips, right? Staving them up. And you get to pay, all your pay is racking up. And I'd come out of there with a pile of money. I'd go deer hunting for 2 weeks. And then boom, I'd hit the airport and I'd disappear. And I would travel all over the place and hang with people for a long time. I will eventually write a book on my life, because if I shared all of those stories with you, I would sound like the biggest lying son of a bee you ever met. But I got the pictures to back it up. I've had so many crazy ass experiences because of that choice of life. And then where's I going with that? I don't even know. Whatever. Not getting married. Oh, talking about when you know. So getting back to that electrical shock when I saw Sarah, because I would sit there one-on-one with these very successful people on the mountain. And I used to always say to them, I go, how do you know? How'd you know it's the one to marry? How did you know? And the dominant answer was, you know. You know. Really? You know. Yeah, you know. You just know. Like, no way. No shit. Because think of how many girls I may have met during that course of my life, traveling all over the place, right? I mean, I'm not even gonna lie about it. Was it too hard to meet members of the opposite sex back then? You're in wicked shape and you meet these girls. What are you doing here? Well, I take people in the Rocky Mountains on horseback for a living. Boom, they want to go hang out. Right? So I'm just saying, there was no shortage of meeting people, but I never ever came across that, oh, you know, as soon as you meet them, you know. And I found it hard to believe. But then I walked into that Sarah's business and I went, oh shit, no, it happened. There you go. Babbling. Mountain goats, the best you've had? Come on. You must have been drunk. Somebody put some different meat in that package. No way. No, they switched it up. Mountain goats, the best meat you've had. Holy cow. You know what? If people go at home, they go, what's your best game meat? I go, let me put it this way. If you got elk, moose, mountain sheep, caribou, goat, and deer in the freezer at the same time, the sheep goes first. That's back and forth. It's debatable with the moose and the elk, but then the sheep would go first, the elk would empty next, the moose is empty next, the deer is next. It's a toss-up between caribou and mountain goat, which stays in the bottom and might become dog food at the end because it's freezer burned. The only time I've ever liked mountain goat myself is when we put it in the glass jars. Then it's delicious. What else do we got? Steve, I was picked up at 10 years old by the beings whom you speak of. I sent you an email. 2 cups coffee book. I was told I was going to be okay, and I just had to listen. Really? No shit. Why don't you email me or send me an email or give me a reminder and let me know what else they told you? That sounds absolutely interesting, Richard. Crazy. Have you ever hunted pronghorns? No, I haven't. I got a lot of friends who have hunted pronghorns, but I haven't done it. The gerbil story, wasn't that a prize winner? Yeah, don't even start it. If I start telling that one, I'll be here forever. But yeah, that's a true story. True story. You know, it's another thing too. You prefer caribou over moose any day? No way. No way. Well, I heard, you know, we didn't kill too many moose where I was guiding. Our caribou, because they kind of sucked where I guided. They're predominantly not that big in BC and where I was. North, north central, northwestern BC, we get the bigger caribou. But apparently if you get an early caribou, it's good. I mean, I've had them. I've made caribou kebabs over fire and shit. They're pretty good, right? But apparently, caribou's missing something. If you only ate caribou meat, like if you're stranded, like in that game of that show Alone or whatever, if you'd only eat caribou, apparently you'll starve to death, was the word in the street. Steve, is there any update on Edgar? Nope. So I have every single email I've got every single one, all names, all phone numbers, the whole 9 yards, other scientists, everything matches up. And then it was a couple years ago, I said, okay, I'm willing to come over. I'll come over right now. Oh, hold on a minute. I got a text. I just have to answer this text. Hold on a second. Sarah's daughter's downstairs and she has to come up and get a toothbrush and wants to know if it's okay. Of course. Anyway, so this is what happened. I've shared this before. So Edgar's having lots of problems with his cancer, treatments, etc. And then he's back home. And apparently the other scientist friend of his was in Russia and was taken into a native community and taken to meet these beings. And he actually touched one of them. Oh, you're just online. Got ya. Got ya. Yep, live. Too late, sucker. Sarah's daughter. So anyway, and apparently the last word was he all of a sudden came down to the weird cancer. And these are nuclear scientists. And he said there's no way those cancers were from their work. There's no way. Oh, now I got a dog right here. Hold on. Puppy, come here. What's this? What's this? Look, another doggy. Why do you dogs stick to me like Velcro? Anyway, and then when he came home and he was healthy enough, I said flat out, I said to his son, I said, well, do you think maybe Edgar want to come on here? And he goes, yeah, I think he might. Then I said, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to come to you guys. I'll come to tell me where you guys are. I'll meet me at the airport, a coffee shop. I don't give a shit. I'll come right now. I'll come tomorrow. I will fly over there tomorrow. And as soon as I said that, ghosted. What happened? Don't know. I mean, he did give me a list of scientists that colleagues of his have been murdered around the world for what they know, but they may have started to speak about out loud. They've been murdered. It's almost like it is open season on scientists around the globe who are going to talk. You coming back out?
No, I'm just getting changed. Daniel's trying to get in.
I thought you were going to try to sneak by the camera without being seen.
Nope.
Good luck. Anyway, so that's what happened. And you know how I am on here. And outside of here, I'm very, very busy. And I do not give any one person priority over another here. I just don't. I will never give any one person an authority position on this topic. I won't. It's all about every single one of you and me and all of us together. That is the number one way to learn, period. That's for me. That's the way I roll. Take from what you will or leave it. I will not ever demand anybody jump on that bandwagon. That's the way I roll. So a lot of people always, what about Edgar? When are you going to get Edgar? I'm like, well, you know what? He kind of ghosted me. Okay, see you later. Forward I go. That's how I go with everybody. Forward I go. All right. You want to come and jump on the train? The door's wide open. Let's go. Nope, you don't? Okay, I'm still going forward. I'm still going forward without you. There isn't one person in this world who's going to be in a position to stop me or us from going forward. Period. Right? So either jump in around the table and hang out and be safe and share your shit, or F off. But the train doesn't stop. We keep going forward no matter what, but the back door is wide open for anybody who wants to run up here and catch up and jump on. Anyway, when I have a few routes I will be taking. I'm not going to say when, because when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. But I have to have a when to be able to say I'm going to do something. But I have every single email from him. I will, when I get the time, when I'm motivated and I feel it's important, I'm going to dive into every single phone number, every single contact via him and dig deep and say, you better get a hold of me now, because I'm going to share every single word. I'm going to share every single name. Right? You better get a hold of me if you want that censored in any way. Because if not, I'm going to let her rip. I'm going to share every single thing with the planet. Is that a good thing or bad thing to do? I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know. And I do have another man who emailed me on the Proton. Remember the Proton email days? And he is a senior member of society, 5 military careers, gave me all the information to vet him totally. And he made me promise that I would keep these conversations between us, which I did. Oh, look, there's a goofy person.
No.
Yeah.
Do you want Daniel down or?
Oh, he can hang out. He's just hanging out. He's fine.
Goodbye.
Okay. And he gave me some amazing emails and information. And I slipped up, and we're talking intelligence times 5 million on steroids. And I remember months later relaying a couple sentences to all of you without thinking, because obviously I'm getting tens of thousands of emails a day. And all of a sudden, boom, he emails me, Steve, I told you everything's between you and I. You said this and this and this. And that came out of nowhere after months, and I'm like, oh shit, sorry. So he's on it. But I have every single one of those emails saved in a safe place too, and triple duplicated. So what do? You know what I mean? Like that was 5-6 years ago, and I think he was mid to late 70s by then. So what do you do with that information? Do you know what I mean? Like when would it possibly, do I try to email him again? Is he even alive? Will he get to a point where he will say, all right, go ahead, share what you got. Share our conversations. And they're huge. These are huge conversations. Very, very, very large eye popper emails for me. And I believe I have done a good job at keeping my lips shut. People tell me not to share. I mean, I've met a handful of people off here, but I keep my mouth shut. Somebody says, don't say my name. No problem. I got you. Or don't share this. Okay. I won't share it. And I don't. You can't, you're only as good as your word, right? So it's a tough position. Not really that tough, but it's kind of confusing what to do with all that information from these senior members of society. You know what I mean? I mean, if I confirm they passed away, then is it green light? What do you guys think? I don't know. Once they've passed away, then is that green light to share the conversations I had with those guys? You know what I mean? And I know there's going to be a lot of people out there who don't really give a flying shit what anybody thinks or how you would make those people feel and not really have as much respect for them. And you go, yeah, they're dead. Who gives a shit? Share it. I don't know, because I have more respect than I don't, right? So, but I guess I'll get to that. Once I get to that point, my gut will know what to do. I don't know. What do you guys think? Anybody commenting on that? What would you guys do? If he passed away, then there's no longer any potential danger to him anymore, except maybe his reputation. So maybe redact family. Yeah, probably. That could be good. Leave the names out. I'd be leery of sharing Edgar's emails now. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe his son's still here hanging out, listening, or whoever. But before I do that on the Edgar zone, because I know he's got relatives, I will do my best, my due diligence, to make sure I know exactly what happened. And to also, I mean, I couldn't imagine being a scientist. We're going to go back and forth. My brain usually has about 15 thoughts going on at one time. All right, you guys. So, but getting back to the Edgar thing and being a scientist, especially in the nuclear small knit global nuclear tight group, it's hard to even imagine going into that field through schooling right now when you know how many of these innocent people have been murdered, blatantly murdered by governments, and anywhere in the world, especially Israel, right? That dirty, filthy government running Israel right now. They have murdered in cold blood so many different people around the globe. Yeah, because when you decide to go to school and become a scientist, you're not really taking hand-to-hand combat and green beret skills to ensure you're safe on your family farm, right? You're going to be a little nervous, like, shit, what am I going to do? But then I guess you must have that natural drive in you and interest, burning curiosity to become a scientist, even though you are now on a list of potentially being murdered. That would suck, right? So I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to picture being the scientist, picture what goes on between their ears, and picture what's going on when they attempt to email me. Do they trust me? They don't know me. Am I a plant? Am I a government operative? Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of these scientists must be very, not distrusting, insecure, anxious, and questioning everyone and everything, right? Once you get up to that level. So did I spook them away when I said I'll fly there tomorrow? Where are you? I don't know. What do you guys think? Did that scare them? I don't know. That's the only thing I can come up with. You're scared him. You got to talk to. Somebody's on here listening and knew my plans. They know I'm an asshole and I'm going to speak out loud anyway. Well, why not kill me, I guess? But then again, I don't think this topic is that big of a can of worms for the absolute dark side right now. I think they got their plate full. Do you know when it comes to eliminating people who are truth telling? I think they got their plate full. Don't you? Like, I don't think this topic getting blown out of the water. I don't know. I'm babbling. I hope I'm answering questions. Shit. Totally. All right. I no longer hunt. I no longer go near the forest, and things have only gotten worse. Although my wife tries to help, I have not stepped outside of our home now in 3 years, and still the nightmares continue. Oh my God, that sucks. And so, Randy, doesn't this channel help you at all though? Like, doesn't this help you from hearing from, I don't know, have we hit 10,000 yet? We must have. I don't count shit. We're talking thousands of people have come here and shared their experiences here, and thousands of people have shared that they do go back. Excuse me. They do go in the woods. They're obviously, you've got your six senses on fire. Mine was on fire going back out in the forest yesterday by myself because it's new forest, new zone, new potential beings possibly being there the same time I am that they're not familiar with. Do you know what I mean? Especially when all those ravens flew up. That always makes me go, huh? What's going on over there? What's dead over there? Shit. Anyway, yeah, I'm curious, Randy, doesn't that help or possibly give you any more confidence to go out and enjoy life how you used to? You know, I hope it does. I hope it will one day. I hate hearing that people can't go in the woods anymore. I'd be very careful as to what I shared because, hold on, there still could be other people connected to that person involved. Yeah, true, right? Oh, Randy said he killed one? What? Did you email me that? Steve, you shared my story but deleted the video. I was going to use that to tell my story to people. It's easier that way. Would you share again? All right, you need to email me again with your email, all right? You need to email me again with the reminder and just title it reminder, right? Or anything. Just get at my face again, all right? Because you guys wouldn't believe what my inboxes are like. You would not believe it. I'm not living a normal life, I swear to God. Please email that to me right back. And if I took down a video, it was because something was mentioned or something happened in that video that was potentially threatening or disrespectful to somebody who emailed in and they requested it taken down. And I'm like, no problem, I'll take it down. Sorry, nothing's ever intentional if I screw up. You know what I mean? So that's why it would have been taken down, unless Google took it down. Google has taken down a handful of my videos and Gandhi. But that's before the new regime kicked in and lightened shit up. Fear is what those beings feed off of, I feel like. The name of Jesus works. My husband and I have firsthand experience with it working. Yeah, many do. And I am starting to believe that I can't confirm that these beings specifically feed up our fear. Maybe, but I am becoming more aware that the dark side, the dark sons of bitches, the people in control, the names, the faces of the people in control. I have a funny feeling they all know that recipe to control, and that control is fear. And without fear from the human herd, they wouldn't be where they are. There's no way any of those parasites in the position of control right now would be or could be in that position if we didn't fear. Think about that one. So yeah, it's proven fact. There are entities out there that feed off of our fear, and they are nothing without our fear, for sure. And that's why they don't like people like me and all you. Merry Christmas to you, sir, and how about family? Much love from upstate New York. Merry Christmas to you, Rando. Sub-Sahara of Alabama. Sub-Sahara. Merry Christmas. Okay, hold on. What do we got here? Initially, it took me a while to share. As an operator going through a war, it's difficult to talk about our experiences, especially on a public platform. Whoops, I just screwed up there. I eventually identified the truth, though. Right on. So I'm guessing you sent that in, right? Guessing you sent that in. Having trouble with this scrolling back and forth, and I'm not missing anybody intentionally. So you got something you want to ask me, ask it again, so it gets in my face. I've got there's nothing I've got secret. The only things I don't answer, I'll answer, but if somebody's told me not to say shit, I don't say shit. Where am I here? Any more eagle feathers? Yep. It's just, you know what? The eagle feathers showing up in the barn now is just like waking up and it's rainy today. Oh yeah, it's raining. Yeah. At first I was a little alarmed, as anybody would be. All right. This is 100% obvious somebody's effing with me in my home. That makes me get ready to be lethal. Figure that one out. That means I'm ready to be lethal. And I don't want to have to feel like I need to be lethal, potentially ready to be lethal in my home. I don't want to, right? It's not a fun way to live, but it didn't take me long to prove that it wasn't a human being messing with me with feathers. That's an easy one. All right? It's not a human being. Okay. It's not an animal. Roger. Okay? I know what's going on, potentially. It's harmless. Somebody's either entertaining themselves, trying to get my attention, looking for a reaction, whatever. You're probably not going to get one now. I know you're here. I've always known you're here around me. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. So yeah, I got another perfect feather laying right there where my gelding stands and eats. And there it was in the morning when I went to feed. There's another one. I think I don't know how many feathers have shown up in the barn. I think eagle feathers, and they're all the eagle feathers. Probably, I don't know, 20? It's got to be 20 or more, because I took 2 fistfuls of them and threw them in the garbage the other day, only because if some Karen got on there and goes, he's got a whole bunch of eagle feathers, that's illegal, and then decided to phone the authorities, it would be easy for them to come over and find the eagle feathers and then just start raping me, right? Because I'm pretty sure the majority of any authority on here knows my respect for them. It's not anywhere. I got respect for my community, my fellow human being and society member. But as far as the shit that I'm watching going on right now, it's going to be pretty tough to get my respect right now with what you're enforcing and what you're backing up in our communities. Nuh-uh. Okay, I'll bite my lip on that. Want to go down that road, right? So yeah, the feathers are still showing up and I just shrug it off, whatever. But then, Sarah and her son and I, we went to a couple stores, and then we forgot something at the store, so we went down the highway towards Tofino, which goes past our turnoff to go home, and went to the store there. And then we keep going to the Sprout River, which goes underneath the highway, and there's an old craggly road that goes down there. I shared that already. We went down that back road home, and there's a double S-bend with that single chain that goes across that long gravel road, and I've looked at it on Google Earth. There's nothing up there. There's a bit of an open lot chopped out up there, but it's like, we're talking, I've never seen a vehicle there. I don't see vehicle tracks going up that dirt road, and it's just no trespassing on it. And we all looked up, and I saw this dude maybe one step across that dirt road and squatted down. There's a few bushes screening. Sun was hitting it right there, low sun. And then I'm like, huh? And as soon as I put on the brakes to stop, to back up, to look again, Sarah and her son both said, holy shit, you see that? But when Sarah says that, because she usually misses. I see everything. And she said, holy shit, you see the size of that? Colby saw it too. And I backed up, and there you're still there, and took one step off and gone. But it's so fast and broken up by a couple branches growing into the road, I couldn't tell. I did not see a solid color, as in a solid color for jeans or a solid color for a jacket. I didn't see a solid color, but what I did see, and right away, I drove because the next house coming up is a single level house. I'm looking at that height and looking back, I'm like, oh, whoa, that dude had to be 9 or 10 feet tall. But whatever, I'm not a squatcher. I'm not a Bigfooter. I don't go squatching. Do you know what I mean? I don't give a flying shit. I don't care about dermal ridges. I don't care about footprints. For me, I don't care what they sound like. I want to know why we're being lied to. I know they're around my home. I know that. But just so you know, I'm like, oh, you should have went and found the footprints. What for? It's been done 50,000 times. I'm beyond that. I'm way beyond the footprints. I don't care. I found footprints now. I don't know how many times. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 times. Probably forgetting a couple times because I've later on in life I had to shrug it off. I don't care. I know you're here, right? Why am I going to waste time in a freaking footprint right now? Why would I waste time in a dermal ridge? It's been done a billion times. And as far as I'm concerned right now, focusing on that is just a speed bump. It slows me down. I don't care. Obviously, I know they're there. Why would I give a flying shit? Look, a grizzly bear footprint. Oh my God, let's study that for 3 days straight. What for? You already know they're there. Can't babble. I hope I'm getting my point across. I don't got time for it. I want to know why we're being lied to. If I receive that absolute, backed up with receipts, reason why we're being lied to, that exposes everything. Everything. Puzzle pieces around the globe will be instantly filled up, not just on this topic, but others, if I get that frickin' one answer with receipts, right? So, do I need to go figure out how to sneak into the forest so nobody sees me, trespass on the property just to run up there and see if there's a footprint? Nope, I'm good. I already know they're there. I already know they're around my house. I hope that explains and answers some questions to somebody, or even makes sense. I hope so. I know there's people out there nonstop. We're just looking for proof. We're just looking for proof. Holy shit. Would you catch up to the train? The proof's in. We need answers now. We need questions answered. The proof's in. What else? I sent my email back to you, Steve, and thank you, brother, for all you do. Great man. That's why we follow you. Keep up the shares. Brother, Merry Christmas. Okay, right on. Gotcha. I'll find it. Merry Christmas to you, man. Appreciate the kind words. It's obvious why we're being lied to. They never want humans to learn Sabe abilities. That'd be game over. Would it ever? Would it ever? Especially with a prick like me. I always said it. If I had those abilities, or they could show me how I could do it, I would be ending up into the bedrooms of a select handful of people around the globe and eliminating them right away. I'm not even going to shy away about saying that. That's just the way I roll. I would be cleaning up the problems, the cancers in society instantly. You give me those powers, I'm going to be a wrecking ball. You give me those powers, I would be the most devastating wrecking ball against the dark side. And I wouldn't even stop to eat. I'd be like, oh my God, thank you, God. Here I go. I'm doing the work. Right? Right? Where else? What are we doing? Canada is not what we think it is. Of course not. Of course not. Canada's not even a country, and that's a fact. You can take that statement to the bank, but I won't crack that one open. I say enough weekly, right? What else? You know what I could do? Let's just hear one right now. Okay, guys? Let's hear somebody, because I opened up my inbox this morning, and I came across one right off the bat, which I always... as soon as I read, like, it starts off with finally, here it is. I'm thinking, oh, right on. We finally got somebody who finally went, okay, I'm going to do it. Excuse me, right? And let's face it, you guys know that takes a lot of courage. Okay. So as far as I'm concerned, when I have somebody on here that does that with that delivery, all right, Christmas gift from us to us from you. So I'm going to share it. All right, let's just share this one. Mark it as read. No, I haven't read it. I don't know what this is about. Bush Prairie, Washington by Mount St. Helens. Obviously, we know what this is going to be about just from that mountain, right? The volcano. Steve, finally, here it is. My name's Conan. Conan, permission given. Received. My grandparents were well off in the 1970s. 40 acres, custom-built 3-bedroom house with a picture view of Mount St. Helens. Now they were hardworking Americans. Grandpa drove his own dump truck. Grandma was a nurse. Back then, you grew what you wanted to eat. Grandma had a half-acre garden. She tended to herself. About 3 apple, 3 pear trees provided our canned desserts for 2 decades, as well as grape jam, etc. Now, when the house was built, the living room exterior wall facing the mountain was all glass, about 30 feet long with a sliding glass door. And every night was covered by very heavy curtains. You couldn't see through. I was about 6 years old, the first time I was let outside with the dogs. Now Grandma was a stickler for dogs, a pair of well-trained German shepherds that lived in their roomy kennel between the house and the garage. Their doghouse is built into the garage corner. Did I mention that there was a 6-foot cyclone fence surrounding the 3/4 acre building code required for the in-ground pool? A cyclone fence. I don't know what that is myself. New to me. This does sound like maybe they had a little security problem, LOL. Grandma kept me inside mostly, drawing. She was an oil painter, so always kept me inside unless we were working together in the garden. And sometime after I was 6, she couldn't keep me contained inside anymore. I was allowed out into the yard with the dogs. And at the time, there was about 4,000 acres of watershed behind the property. Lacamas Lake Watershed, Lacmas Lake Watershed, fed by the Washougal River. So spelled Washougal River. Gray steelhead fishing, LOL. Oh, right on. Power lines led directly to the nearby Lark Mountain and nearby Silver Star Peak, 40 miles away. I was in the spare bedroom one evening, getting ready for bed, and somehow my heavy bedroom drapes didn't get pulled shut. All glass exterior with sliding glass door. Sleep followed as usual. I wake probably about midnight for a bathroom break, and I'd never wet the bed, and I threw the covers back and put a foot on the floor, and it was dark. Hair was rising out of the corner of my eye. I saw something foreign to my usual view. It was mostly like a giant tree was right next to the sliding glass door. I couldn't really see much more than massive belly and legs. Steve, I started falling, pissing, running on hands and knees on a wet, cold tile floor, screaming my fool head off. Mama, Grandma, monster! Grandma and Grandpa slept in the same bedroom in separate beds due to Grandpa's snoring. I went through 2 doors, jumped over Grandma's bed, and started climbing onto Grandpa's bed, crying uncontrollably. Luckily, I had probably quit pissing by then, but I was still all wet. And as you can expect, pandemonium resulted. Luckily, I only said 3 things over and over. Grandma, monster outside. Did I mention grandparents had hunted more than a little big game in BC, LOL? Grandpa didn't move fast, but with purpose. Grabbing the Remington 12-gauge pump out of the bedroom closet. P.S. It was probably the dogs who woke me up because we could hear the faint barks now. Not loud, but they were trying to alert us. Grandpa checked all the glass doors, pulled my drapes shut while Grandma cleaned me up with a damp towel. Grandma came in and to bed, said something about we need better dogs, LOL. When I seen the Patterson-Gimlin footage, later I swore it was the same. And years later, Grandma confessed, of course they knew. She would find the large footprints in the garden, and she swore some years they got most of the fruit before she did, but other years, none would go missing. Leading me now to believe they might migrate? She knew one thing, it was no animal. She called them hairy man or hairy things. They used to have chickens till they kind of evaporated one fall. They switched to quail. The next year, ducks, pheasants, and 2 turkeys every year. I don't think beings like the dark meat so much. Who knows? And P.S. How come you don't have a couple of ducks in your chicken coop? I don't know if they will coexist with chickens, but ducks make the best eggs. Delicious. Extra below. Up to you if you will read. I'll read it. Whenever anybody says it's up to you if you're going to read it, I read it. I read it. Or if they say you might want to read this first before sharing. Nope, I don't do that. I'm not the one that decides what you guys get to hear or not. Just so you know, unlike those frickin' filthy douche, you know what I'm going to say. There's nothing worse. You imagine if I decided one day, all right, I am Mr. High and Mighty, and I will dictate to you what you will hear or not, and I will tell you what's valid or not. Oh my God, thank you, God, for not making me a douchebag. Anyway, Steve, I have lived on the edge all over the Pacific Northwest. I've hunted a little. I've traipsed 100 miles of river. I'm no fisherman. If I want something, I hunt it down and I eat it. Funny though, in the woods or the damn streets or Portland, Oregon, a dozen years of experience there too. When a fierce man roars and acts to save his girl, whatever, the crackheads scatter. And you know your gut instincts saved you. Even as you're shaking, walking back to your car, girl tightly beside you, I am aware I'm not a victim, and I will fight to the death, man. Animal aggression, as long as my gut lives. And P.S. My gut is screaming now. Alaska now. 80 acres, 40 grand Yukon River. Really? 55 years old, I think there's still time. There's always time. Anybody that thinks it's too late for anything, you just go do it. Your gut's screaming, you go do it. Always wanted to see if I can go down to one knee and 3, 2, 1, exhale and squeeze the trigger, shoot center mass of a damn brown freight train coming at you at 30 miles per hour. The end. Conan Column. Email me for any details. Yeah, I don't know if that's something I'd really crave. Having a freight train, aka grizzly bear, with his ears back, coming straight at you doing 100 miles per hour sucks ass. It sucks. It sucks. But teach their own, right? That's what you're into. I'm not into it, but I've done it a handful of times, and it's never fun. It's not a fun experience. It's not a fun experience. Having a grizzly bear coming at you, it's a very different kind of adrenaline, because it's like I explained the other day. I had this interaction with this piece of shit who thought he was a big tough bully, drunken, whatever you want to call it. Zero threat. There's no threat there. And trust me, there's no threat. Even if you won the battle, you'd never win the war because they come and find you. But anyway, there's just something that you will never feel. There's nothing that I've ever done that recreates the feeling you on you with his ears back, coming to kill you dead. No question about it. He's not going to come punch you in the face and his friends are. He's coming to, you know, that your face is about to get completely taken away from your head. You know what I mean? It's a real weird feeling. It's a different adrenaline. I can't explain it, but trust me, you don't want to go there. You want to avoid that. And especially if you don't know if you're going to react appropriately. Thank God I react properly. But I have been side by side with people I trust in my life and other A-type strangers that I don't know, but they talk a big story. They're ripped. They got all these tough things and kicked ass and blah, blah, blah. And they break down crying or running when that goes down. So I'm just saying, it doesn't matter how tough you think you are. Everybody reacts different when it's really going down. And here's another one too. And you don't have to be a tough guy. It's nothing about being tough in the eyes of another human being. It's just how you're built. Picture this one. Guide partner years ago, rarely went with a gun. They were guiding a father-son in camp. So the father was with another guide. He's with a 16-year-old boy from the United States. And this little boy did not live in grizzly bear country. And they had already, the boy had already got his moose. And then everybody has a black bear and a wolf tag just thrown in for their hunt. So they spot a black bear down in a burn. Let's go get your black bear. So they're physically stalking in on this black bear. And when they're out of sight of it because you spot, there's a black bear down there. Let's go get it. And they go, and then you go out of sight and you're going down the trails around the corner, up and around where he roughly was. And they come up and over, and there it is right in front of them. Oh, it's an 8.5-foot black boar grizzly bear. And he sees them. Body language is king, right? Your natural world. Body language is everything. And when you are locked onto a grizzly bear in stalk mode, there's one of two things that bear is going to do. Huh? Oh no, you're dead. Or they're going to run. Well, that grizzly bear came flying at them doing Mach 5. Guide's got no gun. 16-year-old boy goes down on his knee, brings his gun up, pulls the trigger, shoots it in the mouth, and dumps it. What? Right? I'm just saying. We're all built differently. It doesn't matter how much you can bench press. It doesn't matter how many bikers you beat the shit out of on your crazy weekends with your buddies to express how tough you are. Don't matter. Don't matter. You got a grizzly bear coming at you to kill you and rip your face, separate it from your body. Then you know what you're really made from, right? That kid had it. Imagine the relief when that sucker dumped. Anyway, rambling. Oh, sorry. Oh, hold on. There's another two paragraphs in the bottom of your email here. Sorry. Steve, Christmas miracle, Christmas Eve yesterday. Same man that emailed, same email. I was in Safeway parking lot, and this 85-year-old woman was pushing a full grocery cart back into Safeway, and I helped her bring it up to the door. Excuse me, and I said, ma'am, why are you pushing a cart full of food back in the Safeway? And she looked befuddled. I think someone stole her car. Her husband slowly walked up. I can't find it. My gut was screaming. Did you leave the keys in it? And Robert showed me the keys, and I searched the parking lot, and I found the car. I pushed the heavy cart out there, and Merry Christmas. Right on. Listen to your gut no matter where you're at. They didn't even have a cell phone. You're the best, Steve. You are too, man. Appreciate that email. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. And I'm sure that elderly couple is grateful for you. Poor things. We're all going to get there. Hopefully we all get to be that ripe age of starting to forget shit nonstop. What do we got here? We got a couple things that says messages held for review, and I can't click on it. I don't even know what that means. What's this one? I got to click on this to say show it? I don't know. All right, where are we? Anybody else got any goofy questions? You got to be careful what you ask me because I won't shut up. I think everybody's kind of talking to each other here, right? I'm reading. Where are we? Anybody ask me something? How long have we been here? Don't click on the things in there, Steve. Okay, I won't click them. I'm new to this, right? I'm normally technically challenged. I'm challenged in all sorts of shit. You imagine? I was having a laugh about that the other day. You know, I know there's a lot of other places online and channels that are trying to, whatever they're doing, they're using this topic, and they got a whole crew, and they're setting up cameras, making everything perfect, and they're trying to market it. And then here's this asshole that can barely read and doesn't give a flying shit and never said like, subscribe, share once, and we're killing it. I must drive them bonkers if they're in the mindset where they want to be the most focused on or number one or whatever number one in the world of what it is they want to be. And they see this shit show going down and getting so much attention. I kind of laugh at that sometimes myself. Kind of funny. I hope I'll have to read all these later on, but I really seriously hope that a lot of people here right now are here because we're all here together. You know what I mean? They might not have somewhere to go or somebody come over and see them, whatever. And I hope there's a lot of you are here right now with us together in that position. I lived in Saniston, BC many years ago, but hope I can visit more places of beautiful Canada. Saniston. Familiar Sanderson. I grew up originally on the south end of Vancouver Island. Talk about somebody being in the wrong place, wrong year. I should have been born like 200 years ago in the Rocky Mountains, for sure. But yeah, nobody's alone on Christmas when you're on this. When you're on this Dr. Ketchum update. All right, here's the deal on Dr. Ketchum. There's another doctor who passed away recently, and a bunch of other people went at their hardest and their best to annihilate her life. All right, so anytime that you guys hear me say not so nice words when it comes to those other people's names, I got zero respect. If I could, I'd probably end up in their houses and be a wrecking ball for what they've done to Dr. Ketchum. They almost basically took away her will to live. All right. So that's what's happened with Dr. Ketchum. These dirty, filthy. I don't want, it's such a great day today. We got a great pile of people here. I don't want to go dark. Do you know what I mean? Because I can go dark. I got to reel myself in a lot and try to maintain that positive vibration. I want to share the good. But let's just say that their goal was to annihilate her and other people when it comes to exposing this truth and bringing forth that answer that we all want. And when the Vatican was partly involved in making sure that good, hardworking, honest person was destroyed. Yeah. Anyway, so let's just leave it at that for now. All right? Leave it at that for now. Fill in the blanks. Yeah. People wanted me to say something and announce what happened to that poor man that died recently. See you later. That's all I got to say. Yeah. I wonder what you guys all think, though. What do you guys think about how we've been going about this on here? Seriously, I'm asking all you guys a question. How do you, I nonstop say that for me, my only route to enlightenment, learning, getting actual helpful, true knowledge comes from all of you. It comes for me. I know this for me. This is the best thing that I can do for me is making sure I hear from as many of you as I can and sharing all of your voices as much as I can, word for word, no matter what. And I feel at this stage of the game, with what I've learned on my own watching the mainstream shit show, I do believe this is the most powerful thing that we can do to gain true knowledge. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? That make sense, my question? Do you guys feel the same, or is there something, or do you guys think there's another route, another way to gain the knowledge, aside from taking the top level parasites, kidnapping them, and doing nasty, dirty, filthy things to them until they cough up? And believe me, I've thought about it a bunch of times too. What do you guys think? Don't you guys think this is the right way to do it? I mean, let's face it. Am I supposed to sift through people's emails and then put myself in that fucked up position where, well, no, I'm actually in that position now that I get to decide who gets to be heard or not. Do you know, am I right or wrong? What do you guys think? Do you think we're doing it the right way here? Unscripted, not censored, vetting. You hear some of these other, back when I used to maybe have a couple minutes to listen. Trust me, I haven't listened to anybody but you guys for a long time. I don't know what goes on outside of here when it comes to this topic. I just don't. 99.9% of the videos people email, you got to listen to this. No, I don't. I just don't. But what do you guys think? Is this the best way we can go at it to get answers, do you think? Is listening to each other word for word, or is there something I'm missing? Is there some route that I need to go look into that has gone right over top of my head so far? Do you know what I mean? Because I want to learn, and I rarely ask questions. I rarely ask all of you for answers. I just sit back and let them flow in, and I soak up what I can, what I need, and I let the rest go if I don't need it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Give me some answers. Is this the right way to go to advance our knowledge the best? Yes is the best way. I'm waiting for permission to send in what I know. My friend is involved with what we've been through, and I need his permission to speak on some things. I'd like to get this all out at once. Okay, don't give up, Alex. Let her rip, all right? Send him this video possibly once we're done. There's ways to go about it. You don't have to share where you work, what your name is, the physical location. I don't give a shit, because what you share with me, I can't speak with everybody in the audience, but what you share with me, my gut knows if you're bullshitting me or not. And I will take that to the bank for me. That's my gut. I have, whoops, right in here. Still on here? Yeah, I just hit a button. I thought I screwed it up. But for me, I have proven to myself that my gut knows everything. Everything, but my gut doesn't give me a heads up on basic answers. Like, I don't have a conversation with myself, but when it comes to feelings, when I meet people, when I'm about to do something, it may have an effect on my life. My gut knows, and it's right every time. And as soon as I started listening to my gut in life, I started winning. And winning doesn't mean making money. Winning means doing the right thing, being healthy, enabling knowledge to come my way, enabling myself to have as many experiences as I can, pursuing what I love doing, yada, yada, yada. My gut is right. And when I read emails on here, my gut knows whether it's valid or not. And a lot of people, I guarantee you, a lot of people are going to disagree with me. You don't know shit. You don't know when you're getting lied to. Yeah, I do. I do. Anyway, I'm babbling. Where did I start going that little babble? So what I'm saying, so Alex, if you can get that information sent in to us, I don't need a name. I don't need a name. I don't need a physical location. I just need the experience, the knowledge you got to share, and I'll know if it's bunk or not, without a doubt. Excuse me. What do I think about the legitimate DNA studies from Scott Carpenter and David Pilatus? The DNA was done by Melba Ketchum. She begged them not to come forward publicly with the information. They did anyways. But anything done with the DNA, they did not do the DNA. Dr. Melba Ketchum did, okay? There you go. There you go. There's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes with all the above names, all right? A lot of the names, a lot of the mainstream names that you guys are familiar with, once I came forward and they all dogpiled on me. They all dogpiled on me. And what I've learned since I first came out to current times today, when some stranger comes on to me real hot and heavy, want to be my best buddy and talking to me like we're their best friends, red flag. Red flag. I don't mention anybody's names anymore because I don't have to. I've sifted through, I've learned a lot. I've come to realize who wants to make a dollar above all, who's scared to come forward with what they really know because it might affect them making a dollar, who wants apparently what I got, which is a following, and who wants to mimic me and try to be my best friend and then carry on. You know, there's also, I've had so many people come on to me and use me. Hey man, can you share my DVD? Can you share my book? Can you share this? Can you share that? And then eventually realize, shit, didn't see it coming, but I learned now. You know what I mean? So I'm starting to babble. But when I did first come around and everybody in the whole so-called community dog piled on me because I was getting so much attention, I was getting like 5, 6, 8,000 subscribers a day. And that's gold to those people who want to be seen and heard, right? They want to get in with that with the popular crowd. That's not me, obviously. But then you start hearing all the bullshit that goes on between all these people in the so-called Bigfoot community. And you start seeing the warring and the shit going back and forth, and you learn more, and you hear from this person, hear from that person. Everybody wants you on their team. And then finally realize, oh my God, get me out of here. Just get away from me. And then eventually hear from the original victims, from all of them. And then you learn what they actually are doing in the behind the scenes. And it really makes you want to puke. And then you're really ashamed of yourself for being friends with some of these people or give them that respect. I know I'm babbling a little bit, but I just don't normally go there because I've learned, I've gone forward, and my focus is on all you guys. All right? I'm not a Bigfooter. I'm not in the community. They can all kiss my ass. Right? I'm ramble babbling. That all came from the DNA question. Melba Ketchum did the DNA. She's the only one to listen to when it comes to the DNA. There you go. Now. I think what you're doing is the best way and the only way for real. Larry, all right, man. Agreed. I think we are doing it the right way. I believe it's not me, it's we. It's never me, it's we. In this word, and here, it's we, right? As soon as I start saying, please subscribe and share and hit the like button, then you know I'm a douchebag. As far as I'm concerned, from what I've learned today and watching other people, that's when you know I'm a douche. And you're not, I'll never, ever do that. Ever. No. Where am I? There's so much in here. I'm gonna go back and read all this later because I enabled the replay of the live chat. So I guess we can all go back and read all the whole thing. So maybe what I might do, maybe what I'll do. So you got a question for me? Throw it down on this little thing here. Excuse me, and then I will, when I get a chance, maybe on the plane, I will go back and I'll read this whole live chat. And I'll copy and paste all the questions into my notes, and I'll answer every freaking one of them. All right? Okay, let's do that. So, because it's going to be impossible for me to do this, right? Impossible. Yeah, you wouldn't believe how many of the so-called names in the Bigfoot community have actually tried to threaten other good people behind the scenes. Oh, it just makes me shake my head. Does anybody threaten me? No. Nobody threatened. I've had a few other, in the past, in the beginning, a few individuals who are trying to disrupt me as best as I could. And there was a shitstorm going on behind the scenes that you guys weren't aware of. And trust me, they don't threaten me anymore. Nobody does shit to me now. Nobody tries to do anything to me anymore. They know it's the wrong choice. And when it comes to knowing people, believe me, I know people too. Anyway, I'm not going down that douche avenue. Just trust me when I say I got shit covered, all right? Everything's fine. Nobody threatens me. Nobody manipulates or steers me in any way, anytime, ever. It's not possible. Okay? Now, have I seen the new documentary? Nope. Am I curious? Nope. No. How does the Sabe feel about us? They are sacred beings. Protect them. We can't protect them. That's another thing. Well, I feel, sorry, I apologize. I like to, when I feel strong about something I think I know, I like to start off with, I think, instead of, this is the way it is. You know what I mean? So I think that they don't need protection from us. How can you protect these beings that outclass us so fiercely? Right? If anything, we need protection. From the dark members of our society, we need protection big time, especially today. We need protection, and we can't provide protection for our communities. How are we going to go and protect some being who can come and go as they please? You know what I mean? Anyway, sorry. Sorry. Maybe you, Steve, born 200 years ago, hence you love. Well, yeah, I might have been. I guarantee you, if I could, I would, seriously, if I could just jump and grab a string of 6 horses and disappear in the mountains, in the Rocky Mountains, I'd be gone. I'd be gone. Gone. In another lifetime. Don't remember seeing the rest of the trail cam giveaway and the lures. Did you ever finish that? Nope, not yet. Would love to go on a ride by video feeding the kids. Well, yeah, I actually have some photos we got sent. I'll cover all that right now. I have photos sent to me of a bunch of kids sitting around a table eating healthy food, and the mom texted and said, she said she was so overwhelmed by the amount of food and the quality of the food, and that she was so proud to say they had taco festival the night before. And I said to Sarah, is it okay to share that? She goes, yeah. And then, I don't know, my gut said, don't do it. That's a dog. My gut said not to share that photo. So I went with my gut. And then I instantly thought about all the people that you see online who either have somebody film them or they film themselves approaching somebody who's down and out and giving them money or giving them food or some clothes or whatever. I'm like, what a piece of shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, how could you even do that to somebody when they don't even want to be noticed by society in the first place because they're possibly so ashamed of themselves, and then to be put on the frickin' internet, being fed like a street dog? Anyway, so that's where my mind goes But the thought of sharing the picture of those, there's 4 girls, young girls, all sitting around their little tiny table in the kitchen eating a meal, happier than shit. You know, just to make a video going around sharing the food, no faces. I don't know. It's never really that hasn't even come to my mind. I don't think about it for even a tenth of a second. All I think about is, trust me, when you go there, I'm guessing that the majority of these moms feel possible humiliation or embarrassment, maybe, which I don't want them to, because they're not providing for the kids. They can't do it. They need help, and I realize that, and believe me, the majority of them, they don't really want to socialize, you know, and I respect that. Out of respect for them, I just want to show up, don't be awkward. Here you go, see ya, and I leave. That's it, right? And help them and just leave, and don't possibly put them through a little bit of humiliation or awkwardness. You know what I mean? Or treat them like, oh, you poor thing. You know what I mean? So I think for me to videotape that on the sly, even chop out faces, nope, not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Does Sarah's daughter go hunting with you? Is she even interested? Well, I actually got her a bow, and if she started shooting the bow, she couldn't kill a thing. She couldn't kill a thing. She's actually in the big city now. She put herself through a great big course and passed, and she has a full-time job in what she chose, and we're very, very, very proud of her. She's doing well, but she loves eating the game meat. Could you send a short video how Sarah cans the elk meat? Yeah, for sure. And I think it might be in her cookbook, and it might be on her Cook and Eat It channel. But yeah, it's easy. It's so freaking good. Your gut's right, Steve Burst, but yeah, it is. For sure it is. Gut's never wrong. Gut's never wrong. Oh, okay, trail cameras. So you got the tariffs, right? We had the tariffs coming in. Next thing you know, all of a sudden, out of the blue, there's an app. real coming from somebody who developed an app and had one built. It takes a long time. So for all these tariffs to come in, and then all of a sudden, a week later, there's an app already built, which is required for you to take a photo of what you're putting in the package, and the app decides what it's worth, the value, and then you got to pay the extra money. All of a sudden, right? We're not pre-planned at all. And then we had so that was a big cluster at the mailbox, and then we had mail strike, and then and that piled shit up. Our post system here is dog shit. And then we had, all of a sudden, they opened up the mail system for once a week or once every 2 weeks or something. And two of the trail cameras didn't make it to the destinations, and I've just sat here quiet. I'm like, okay, stop sending them. Stop and see how this plays out, because these are made in China, right? The cameras are made in China, although they're wicked. They're made in China. And fortunately, I remember Sarah saying something like, damn, I knew I should have got the tracking numbers on those things. I'm like, oh, no, really? So we stopped, waiting for hopefully somebody to say, oh, I finally showed up. We've had a few emails of people saying it's not here, and I didn't get my camera. I'm like, okay, note taken. And I'm just being a little patient before I resend it, because it's going to come out of my pocket, and I got to send them another camera and make sure it gets there. And I don't need people scamming. And unfortunately, there's been a bunch of people come here and try to scam. They try to scam us into giving them free food, right? It's unfortunate, because I trust everybody before I don't. But yes, I do have cameras and they're sitting there on the shelf, ready to rip. When I'm 100% confident they're going to get to you. Okay? So there's bullshit going on in the mail system right now between us and the United States. Stop. I will continue shortly. And once I'm absolutely convinced those other trail cameras are not going to make that destination, I'll send them another camera. All right? So that's how I'm sitting right now with the cameras. Okay? Hope that made sense. Where's some more to that question, wasn't there? Where am I? I think there was a part of that question. Of course, now it's gone. Whew. Way up in the loop. Where are we? Have you heard about Expedition Bigfoot using high technology? They got perfect shots, thermal and video feeds. Then by the time they got back to camp, came in. I know I haven't. And I can tell you this right now, back in the beginning of me coming out, people alerted me that those people were going to try to come after me and disrupt me and harm me. Just so you know. So yeah, that name comes up. Dog shit people to the curb. There you go. And again, you got a reality TV show on mainstream television, you're a douchebag. I don't give a shit who you are. From what I've learned to what I know, if you want to be a reality TV person, you are effed up between the ears. No going back. In my eyes. Take for what you will or leave it. That's the way I roll. Someday, I hope that you will finish my dad's experience with the Illinois. Is probably in the half-read email pile. Half-read email pile? I've got a half-read email pile? Send me that one again. Send me that again, and I will read it. What else? Very kind of you to feed the kids. It's too good. You know what? I'm telling you guys, do you want to create good in your life? Feed hungry kids. They're everywhere. It's easy. It's easy. They're in your backyard. I'll freaking guarantee it. From what I've learned now, you go in your neighborhood, there is a family struggling and they can't feed their kids properly. I bet my life on it. Find them. Just find them and fill those tummies up and wait to see how good it feels. It's amazing. It's amazing. Go find them and feed them. Right? It's too easy. My ex-husband had something push his tent into his face in Fulton, Missouri years ago. No doubt. No doubt. It must look like I'm zoning out when I'm just staring at the thing. Not speaking. How long have we been here? Do I gotta go back? I'm in the original farmhouse. The other one's over there. That's where everybody is, across the farm driveway here. And I think Sarah said we're supposed to have turkey around 2:00 or something. It's 2:30. Whatever. I love doing this. This is awesome. We'll hang out. We'll hang out a little longer. Greetings from Bangkok. We'll be there soon. We'll be there soon. And okay, I'm going to share this with you guys. Some of you, especially you ladies, are going to shake your head at me, all right? Now listen to this one. So years ago, back when I was traveling around the planet, I got a Scotia visa. What the hell is it called? Scotia Travel Rewards or something. I don't know. Typical man, or just picture typical dude. I go hunting. I'm a trades guy, and I'm a guide. I'm challenged. But anyway, I've always prided myself in not being in debt. I haven't borrowed a dime since I was 22 years old. I worked my frickin' ass off, and I've slowly built my way up, followed my gut, and I've done the right things. What we're talking a shit pile of trial and error, okay? Because I had nobody to teach me shit. But anyway, and I had this credit card, but I made payments with my contracting business when I was in Whistler. You imagine the money I rifled through that credit card, right? And you're racking up points. And you're racking up points and getting gas. I use it for everything. Rack up the points, and I never used the points. I didn't even know how to use them. And Sarah, well, she's got points all over the frickin' place, right? And she loves their points and uses them. And she was so proud that she used her points and only had to put down X amount of dollars to get all of us here for Christmas with her points. Well, a month ago, I went onto this. I go, well, let's figure this thing out because I'm sure I got a shit pile of points in this thing. And she goes, "You've never used them?" I'm like, "Yeah, don't even think about it. I just don't think about it." We get on there, and it's called Scene, SCENE website, some shopping place where you go shopping with your stupid points, and you can also buy travel tickets. Well, we get on there. I had 998,000 something and 50 points, almost 1 million points. And Sarah's like, and I don't know. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what they're worth. Sarah's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "What? We could probably buy our plane tickets to go on vacation with that." I'm like, "No way." So then I phoned the Scotiabank dude and I said, "How do I use these? How do I even do this? Like, I don't know how to do this. How do I use these points to get a plane ticket or whatever?" And he goes, "Oh, what's your account, sir?" And he goes, "Oh," this is what else he said. He goes, "Oh, I've never seen anybody with this many points before." Obviously, I felt like a bit of a doorknob because I never ever, we're talking years though, right? So I had nearly 1 million frickin' points to use from saving points for years of paying off. I mean, we're talking supplies for one job, be upwards of, I don't know, sometimes $100,000 just for supplies. And I'm using my credit cards. You imagine the points racking up, right? And never using them. Poor Sarah, she's like, "I'm gonna get away from my credit card," right? She's like, "Oh, what else do they got in here you can shop for?" And I'm like, "Get away." No. Anyways, long story short, I bought her tickets with my points. So we get to go. There you go. Hold on. Oh, let me back down here. Steve, have you considered starting a Discord server? It would allow the How to Hunt family to share amongst each other, as well as you could bring people up during lives to speak with you live. Just a thought. Yeah. The ladies were pointing me that way and keep telling me I got to do that. And it's just like, for me, it's Chinese. I don't even know. I know nothing about it. I have to get together ladies, and then one of them can show me how to do that smoothly. Because right now, I don't even know what the hell that is. You know what I mean? Now, what else do we got? I should probably get going, eh? These guys are going to be, it's 20 to 3. How long have we been here? 1, 2, couple hours? Feels like 5 seconds. I love talking to you guys. Love it. West Canada stand may soon be the US. Yeah, who knows? Who knows what's coming? But I can tell you right now, there's going to be some real nasty shit coming down this year as a whole on the globe, without a doubt. I follow it. I follow what's going on around the globe intimately. And unfortunately, there's some bad shit coming down the pipe. I hope all of you... Doggy, I hope all of you have been keeping tabs on it too, all right? Steve, you need to have dinner? Yeah, I do. Damn it, I guess I should probably head over there, right? I hope we talked enough. I hope I answered enough questions that help you guys along with your curiosity and your knowledge. And I really hope, though, number one, that many of you that came here today were on your own, possibly, or felt maybe left out, and you realize you're not. Right? Just like that, you realize you're not alone. Right? You're not alone when you're here. So, again, I hope if you had a question for me, you threw it down. Oh, somebody's here. I'm probably about to get in trouble. And I'm upstairs. And then I will go over this live chat, and I'll answer every single question I can. All right? Somebody's coming.
I didn't know you were still here.
Is it dinner?
No, we just got back.
Look, you're alive again. Third time. Oh, there she is. Oh, she's braver than mom. Okay, so what's going on over there?
We just got back from the side-by-side.
Oh, you guys are burning around on the side-by-side? I was supposed to go with
Were you?
old grandpa. Yeah.
We were going with the kids.
Oh.
So we weren't allowed to go fast.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'm going to wrap this up, and then I'll come down.
Okay. Right there, downstairs.
Oh, yeah? Okay. There you go. I better get out of here. And yeah, throw down your questions in here. I'll read this later, and then I'll make sure that I'll answer every single question best I can later on. And then also for coming up, I have a big list to look into, which means we've got to get a hold of you to have you on here with me. Obviously, you know what I've been doing this past since when hunting season starts, my world goes chaos. So after we're done this final move, which is flying across the freaking country.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Then I will have people on here as often as I can, all right? Because I think that's a real good thing to do as well. Hearing straight from the people, to the people, right? And I'll do that. And what else? Maybe the Discord thing? Yeah, I'll look into that too. Figure that one out. I got a lot to figure out. And, excuse me, we'll keep the the knowledge ball rolling in our favor, right? And nobody will ever have authority, a position of authority on this channel, in this group of people, ever. Never, never, right? It's all about us. We're all 100% equal. We're all one big true community. True one, right? Yeah, it kind of makes me laugh how far we've gotten. Doesn't it make you kind of laugh? Well, it makes me laugh when I look at how many people who controlled the lens for so long wanted me to go away so bad. Oh, they wanted me to shut up, either join them and do it their way or shut up and go away so bad. It just didn't happen. That's why it kind of makes, I always giggle. I can't help it. It makes me laugh when you think about how challenged and how crazy they must be between their ears to actually be that emotional in that position of needing that control, needing that power of and that control of information that's coming out to all of you. And they just couldn't do it. They couldn't control them. Damn it, right? So you can see how that makes me laugh, because I remember my childhood, I had that evil, dark bully entity that came into my life as a boy. And then later on, I got to basically beat him to a pulp. And that boy has never been stopped since. So that's a good thing. It always makes me laugh when the good wins in the end, right? Makes me laugh. So make sure you don't like, don't subscribe, and don't ding the bell, right? I'm going to babble a little more because I do not give a shit if this topic and true knowledge, you cannot suggest to people to come here and subscribe. It's an absolute waste. It's stupid. The only reason I see you doing that is because you want to benefit, right? You want to benefit. You need as many subscribers as you can, because you need to. It's going to benefit you somehow. I don't give a shit how many subscribers I got. If you have a true thirst for true knowledge, you're going to find us. You're going to find us, right? It's been up to every single person that's came here. It's been up to you to start digging for truth, and then all of a sudden you come across us, and here we are the whole time, just idling along on the side here, right? Isn't that great? Isn't that cool? It just kind of makes me laugh. I laugh at how frustrating that must be for the pricks who want to have some kind of control or be in some kind of position where they consider themselves an authority. I can't help it. It makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. And then one more quick note on that. Again, I've had, I forget how many it is now. I think it's like 4, I don't know what it was. 1, 2, I don't know, 4 or 5 or 6 individuals who spent a lot of time doing the Bigfoot podcast circuit, got their own channels, and they spent a lot of time trying to shut me up and discredit me and try to attack my character and ruin me. And all of their channels are dead in the water, and I never said their names once, and I still haven't. So that makes me giggle too. Oh God, I love it when the people win. Love it. Doesn't happen enough, right? But we are winning, and this is your channel. This is just us together. I'm just the guy that sits here and opens up I'm the janitor that comes in and opens up the door in the morning for everybody first. That's all I am. Anyway, Merry Christmas. All right. Merry Christmas to everyone. You're not alone. You weren't alone today. And have a great day and a great tomorrow and a great week and a great everything. I might be here tomorrow. I should be. I might be able to pull off, get some emails shared tomorrow. And then we'll just keep on keeping on, right? Just keep this steam engine rolling forward, smashing through all those barriers until we can't anymore, right? There you go. Later, you guys. I love every one of you so much. I'll see you later. Here we go. I'm gonna go gain like 10 pounds in the next 2 hours. Here we go. I'm out of here.